Okay, this is recording now, and my apologies that it's dark. This is literally the only light that we have to work with in Eugene right now. It's all smoky and jaundice, and so anyway, hopefully it'll lighten up a bit when I scooch back. But here is your recorded Pilates class for today, hour long. Take it when you can, and here we get started. So I'll move to the back, and we'll start lying on our back. To begin, Cat's here for assistance as always. He's got impeccable timing. So we're going to start on our back with knees bent, feet grounded. Just check the time, see when we start. Perfect. Okay. Knees bent, feet grounded. Knees and feet are hip width apart. Lined up, feet parallel, not internally or externally rotated. And then arms resting down beside you, and then angled away just a bit with palms turned up. Really let the shoulders roll open and press the backs of shoulders lightly to the ground. Feel this broadening across your chest. Reach the crown of your head to the back of your workspace. Chin landing fist distance from chest. Let the eyes close and we'll begin to connect to ourselves through our breath work. So I'm going to take a deep inhale through the nose. Steady exhale out through the mouth. Big breath in, fill from the bottom of the belly to the top of your chest. Exhale, emptying completely from the top of your chest all the way down through the lower belly. Inhale, let the ribs expand outward as you fill up your lungs. Purse your lips and squeeze the breath out from beginning to end, allowing the ribs to knit and pull back to midline. So taking easy inhales through your nose so that the belly relaxes and it rises to fill. More powerful on the exhale, force it out, squeeze it out, and let the muscles then engage. Contraction of core, firming of belly, pulling down deeply. Let's take 3 more rounds of breath here. Building up relationship between breath and core. Clearing the mind. Staying focused and present. One last time here, big inhale. Now as the core firms in, exhale, lift the feet off the ground. Slowly pull the knees to chest. Feel the abs working to draw the legs in, and then place your hands on your knees once you're there. Begin to just gently rock side to side. Keep up with tempo of breath, not rushing through the movement. If we start moving too quick, then the quality of breath can sometimes get lost. So we keep that all linked together. Good, then move into a circular motion with your legs. Both of your legs are moving in the same direction, massaging into your lower back, right? The backs of your hips, right above the tailbone there. Good. Take a moment to pause, reverse the direction. Good, then bring the legs to still at center. Using the hands still for guidance, let's open the legs up now wide. Circle the legs around and back in together again. So we open up, sweep down, around, and back in. What we're working here on is the mobility of our hips. So all this movement stems from your hip joints. We're working on a range of motion and finding that in our own body. And then this also too will stretch, or not stretch rather, but massage out your hip flexors, kind of warm them up. Let's take 2 more circles through, right? Cycles through this circular movement. Once more, open big and wide, circle around, back in, hold here. Place both hands to the right knee, stretch the left leg all the way to the floor and flex the foot, feel the leg anchor down. Hug your right leg into body, which will stretch the glute and lower back. And as you're hugging in, actively pull the shoulders down to the floor. While the leg is hugged in, draw circles with the foot just to warm into the ankle. And then reverse direction. And bring the foot into still and extend your right arm out to its side. Plug that shoulder into the floor. As many breaths as you need. That right leg is going to cross over to the left side. You look over the right shoulder and you come into a spinal twist. Let your body ease into this. Never force, never move quick, right? We're getting a little stretch to the outer hip here, but we also are getting that rotational movement of spine. So we want to make sure the back stays safe and we just release into it. Use your breath to guide you. Every exhale, you can melt even more. Good, one more breath in. Firm in the belly and then unwind as you exhale, slowly to center. And then release the right leg, lengthen it out to meet your left, flexed foot here with that right side. Left knee draws in, both hands hold. You'll hug the leg in towards body, drop shoulders from ears. Back of your neck is still nice and long. And as you're hugging the leg inward, let's draw circles with the foot. Warm the ankle up. And then reverse direction. The foot comes into still and the left arm extends out to its side. Again, taking your time, crossing the leg now over to your right side, looking over left shoulder for your twist. When you get into the rotation, and if you notice the left shoulder started to peel away from the ground, I really want you to actively press it in. The reason being that's going to help rotate your thoracic spine, your upper back. Whereas if the shoulder were to lift off the ground, all your body is doing is just turning, right? So we're not really allowing that kind of wringing out sort of motion in our spine. Good, stay here for another inhale. Tighten the belly, unwind slow, exhale. And then once you've come back through center, let's bend the knees and ground the feet. Lift the arms to the sky, stack everything above the shoulders, and then have the palms face forward, hands shoulder width apart, fingertips reach to the sky. On a breath in, take the shoulders and shrug them upward, lift them off the floor. And then on the exhale, plug them back into the earth, root back in. So really feeling this movement in your body. Shrugging up, we're lifting the backs of shoulders off the floor. The fingertips get closer to the sky. And then you're going to plug and pull back in on the exhale. We're going to do 2 more of these. So during class, we want to avoid what we're doing next, shrugging up. We want to avoid this because it starts to close our chest off and it strains shoulders to ears. And then when we plug down, it anchors in, it opens the chest, and it relieves the tension. Let's do that one more time. Shrugging up and feeling that. Where is the sensation in your body? I get it a lot here in my traps. And then on the exhale, when I plug them back down, you can feel the release. Let's stay here then and inhale. Lift the arms overhead. Seal the lower ribs down so you're going to firm in your belly. On the exhale, sweep the arms out to the sides and then lower the arms back down beside you. My other arm can't do it because I'm really close to the wall, obviously. Yes. So don't mind my arm. Breathe in, arms lift up. Backs of shoulders still stay plugged to the floor. Reach overhead with a firmed in belly. Exhale, circle the arms around. Lower them back beside you. Let's just do 2 more of these. This is mobility of shoulders. Open wide, sweep back down. One last time. Both arms reach up as high as they can. As far back as they can. Press the spine into the floor. Open as wide as you can reach. And then stretching down as low as you can reach. And let the arms just relax beside you. From here, right leg crosses over left leg. Thigh over thigh versus ankle over knee. Like you're sitting in a chair. Draw the knees to chest and then hold onto both legs with your hands as far down as you can hold without the shoulders lifting off the ground.
Then you're going to equally pull back on both legs using both the hands, while at the same time rooting your tailbone down. So there's going to create that push-pull energy for you. Whew, and a nice deep stretch into that right hip. So some options, you can stay as you are in the stretch, or you can flex the feet, begin to lift the feet upward, which will bring the legs more into 90. That can intensify the sensation. Yowza, my hips are really tight right now. So that's an option, not a requirement. It could be something you explore, but just focus here on breathing into that right hip. Take 2 more rounds of breath here, shall we? Inhaling deeply. Exhaling fully. One more time, breathe it in. Exhale it out. If your feet were lifted, let them gently release back down. Then let go of the legs. Uncross them, feet to the floor, ground in for just a moment. Take a little lift of your hips, little mini bridge. Sometimes the hip flexors get a little wonky on that, so I'm going to take a moment there to release. And we'll go to the other side. So left leg over right leg, thigh over thigh. Knees pull in, grab, hold down as low as you can reach. That may only be the just below the knees, and that's okay. You're going to gently pull back using both hands, drawing the legs in closer. But when that happens, the tailbone generally curls up. So we're going to bring in that push energy, pushing the tailbone down into the floor, which will essentially pull the legs away from you. But now you're fighting equally with that push-pull energy. Again, the option to flex feet and start to lift them. Whew. Left hip we're focused on, so just shifting your attention to that side and breathing into that space. Broadening across your chest, keeping the back of your neck long. Two more rounds of breath here. One more breath in. Let that exhale come out, and then towards the bottom of that breath, gently release the legs, uncross them, arms lower, feet ground down, and then just take a little mini lift of the hips. And then return back to the mat. From here, let's take the right leg, lift it to the sky. Hold the back of the leg with both hands. Anchor your tailbone in, press to floor. You can already feel, just by pressing the tailbone down, you can feel this getting a little bit deeper of a stretch, even before we get into it fully. So, tailbone grounding, then take the leg and push it away from you. Press, press, press away. Feel the pressure in your hands. That's going to get more length to the backside, which is what we're looking for. And then meet that energy with hands drawing the leg in closer to body. So if you've pulled the leg in and the knee has bent deeply, we've lost the stretch. And we've also lost the push energy. So make sure that both remain here. You can stretch your left leg to the ground if you're wanting a little bit more. But again, just make sure that that doesn't compromise the form to your right side. And as we hold our hamstring stretch here, let's also get into our calves. So we're going to flex the foot. Ooh, heel to sky. Yeah, and then point the toes, getting into the shin and top of foot. Yeah, so heel to sky, that stretches the back side of the leg. Pointing the toes, we'll get into the front side of the leg. And we'll do that one more time. Heel to sky. And then point the toes. Let's keep the toes pointed here. If you had lengthened your left leg down, let's go ahead and bend the knee again, foot to floor. And let's slide our hands down low on that right leg, closer to the hip and groin region. Keep pointing the toes to keep the legs stiff and firm. We're going to go into climbing the tree. It's a core exercise. Take a breath in. Keep the hands light as you exhale. Climb up this tree, which is our leg, 4 counts. 4 as the head and shoulders lift off ground. 3, 2, 1. Now, where is your shoulders in relation to your ears? If they're up here, drop down and don't hold up as high on your leg. Take a hold here, breathe in, keep your lift, and then climb back down your tree, 4 counts. 4, light touches. 3, use more core here. 2, back to the bottom. Let's do that again. Inhale. Exhale, climb up. 4, core strength, pulling you up. 3, 2, 1. Stay here, breathe in. Climb down for 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do that once more. Inhaling, lifting, holding, inhaling, coming down. 4, 3, 2, and return to the mat. Then bend your right knee, ground your foot, arms beside you. Let's do that on the other side. Left leg to the sky. Hold the back of the leg with both hands and anchor your tailbone down. Press the leg into the hands. Push away first. Meet that by pulling in. Equal energy in both directions. Check back in too with your tailbone. Sometimes it likes to peel up, so we want to ground it back in if it had. And then if you'd like, right leg can extend down as an option. Again, just make sure that the left leg didn't start bending as you did that. Whew. Tight legs for me today. On your inhale, flex your foot, heel to sky. Woo. And then point the toes. Inhale, flex. Exhale, point. One more time, flex the foot. And point the toes. Keeping the toes pointed. If the right leg had lengthened down, bending knee, grounding foot. Slide your hands now down to the base by hip and groin. Breathe in, climbing the tree. Exhale, belly in. Peel up, head, neck, and shoulders. Climb up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop shoulders from ears. Stay here. Breathe in. Climb down. 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll do that again. Inhaling. Exhaling. Lift. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay here. Breathe in. Exhale. Come down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do it one last time. Inhale. Light hands. 4, 3. Core does all the work. 2, 1. Hold here. Inhale. Climb down. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then bend the knee, foot to ground, arms beside you. Recover. Realign the knees and feet to hip bone width apart. From here, right knee pulls into chest, then left knee. We do one leg at a time. That helps protect the lower back. Then arms are pressed firm to floor. If you ever need more support, the arms will come out to T. If you want even a little bit more heat, you can lift the arms above your shoulders. Keep hands shoulder width apart. Take a breath in, knees draw in closely. Exhale, both legs are going to extend away from the body. Point through your toes, lengthen and reach. Draw the knees back in again, using your hip flexor strength to pull back in. Again, extending the legs out and making sure your back doesn't arch, the spine presses in, belly burns. Inhale, draw the knees to the chest. We're going to do 4 more here, and again, find a variation that works for you. If the arms are lifted, that just means a little less surface area is grounded, which means a little less support, which means a little bit more core. Exhale. You can extend the legs closer to sky for more modified or closer to the ground for more intensification. Draw the knees back in again. We're doing 2 more here. Extend, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen through those toes. Draw the knees in on an inhale. One more time. Extend and use the entire breath out to get there. Draw the knees in, hands to knees, recover. we're going to add a little bit to that leg extension exercise next. So just taking a moment here to rest. Okay. So we're going to add in an abdominal curl. That was hard for me to say for whatever reason. There's going to be movement of arms. Just make sure that the arms, they never leave. They're actually the last thing to move in this exercise, so that you're not relying on momentum of them to pull you up. You're really relying on your powerhouse strength, your core. So the knees are in. Let's start with the arms lifted above the shoulders, palms face forward, fingers spread, hands shoulder width, shoulders plugged down. Remember that. Take an inhale. On your exhale, as you extend the legs, lift up the head, neck, and shoulders, and then let the arms come down to a hover beside you. Stretch the fingertips to the front of your workspace. And then draw the knees back in, lower back down, and restack the arms. Exhale. Use your core to pull you up. And then return down with resistance. On an inhale, we're doing 4 more of these. Exhale, belly firms. Coming up. Drop shoulders from ears. Return down on an inhale. 3 more times. Arms are stiff like a board. Come down on an inhale. Twice more. Return down, inhaling. Once more. Let's stay here and let's pump the arms. Keep the breath. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Recover and rest. Return back down. If you'd like to take some movement here, certainly feel free. Just warming up those abdominals. I'm going to do one more leg extension exercise, and this is going to be not only, of course, a core exercise, but now we're going to focus on also strengthening into our hips, because we're going to be working with external rotation, and when we externally rotate the legs, it's the hips that have to roll open as well. So we'll start with the knees in. Then we're going to take the knees out wider, so a little wider than shoulder width, and then take your heels together, the inner corners of your heels, so you create the letter V with your feet. Now we want to maintain this big V. We don't want the feet to start to close in on themselves. That means then the legs are rolling in, internally rotating when we want to find external rotation. So this is frog press. Arms can be down beside, out to T, or if you're wanting even more, hands behind the head and shoulders lifted off ground. Take an inhale. Exhale, extend the legs out, and now hug those inner thighs together. Draw back in, wide knees, big V in the feet still. Exhale, extend out, squeeze the inner thighs together, pinch in. Draw the legs back in, but they're wide. 4 more of these. Press out, push through those heels. Pull back in, keep those feet in the V. Again, extend, hug thighs together, pull back in, inhale. 2 more times, extend out. Draw back in, knees wide, wide, wide. 1 more time, extend and hold. Inhale, lower the legs down a little bit more. Exhale, bring the legs above the hips. Again, come down with resistance. Pull back up. Once more, come down slow. Exhale, pull it up. Good, bring the feet into parallel. Draw the knees in. Recover and rest. So a lot of hip strength, right, needed there to really keep those legs rolling outward. Okay. Let's take the legs now down to the floor, both of them. Flex the feet, push the heels away, lift your toes up to the sky, make sure the feet run parallel now. Arms are going to lift overhead to the back of your workspace, palms facing in, hands shoulder width apart. Now when we do this, generally we pop the ribs up. I'm a little bit over exaggerating, but now like the middle of my back has lifted off the ground, so you can See if my hand here kind of slipped underneath. So we want to prevent that. So we want to seal that part down. Press the spine in, seal the ribs in, and then you're going to feel the core working already. Here we go on our roll-ups. Breathe in, start to peel your body off the ground. Arms, head, shoulders. About tips of shoulder blades when you want to exhale. Pull up slow, core strength to come up, tall seated. Hinge forward at your hips. Deep, deep stretch here. So make sure the feet stay flexed. The head is heavy between the arms. And the arms are elevated parallel to the legs. Stack tall with your next inhale. And then as you exhale, tuck deeply under from tailbone. Scoop out the core. Start rounding your spine. Drive the heels away from you as you control yourself all the way down to the bottom. And never, never let your legs relax. They are strong the entire time. We start again. Inhale, the movement begins. Exhale, feel the legs pressing down even if they come off the ground. Heart lifts to the sky. Good posture. Hinge, fold. Ooh, that stretch. Come up tall, breathe in. Roll down, reconnect. One vertebra at a time. Let's do 2 more of these. If you want more heat, try to keep the arms in line with your ears. Exhale, pull up. Posture. Hinge, fold. Sit upright, breathe in. Roll down slower than you may like to. Once more, if you want even more, hands at forehead, elbows wide. Keep those hands glued to forehead. Breath in, start the lift. Exhale, come up. Stack tall. Hinge, stretch. Stack up again on your breath in. Let's stay stacked. Let's just exhale, lower the arms down beside us. And I'll turn so you can see me a little bit easier here with this next exercise, our spine twist. So for our spine twist, the legs are extended out in front of you. They don't have to be fully extended. If you find that's bothersome for your lower back or hip flexors, bend your knees a little bit. Keep the legs hugged in and the feet flexed. Sit really tall, chest up, shoulders back, belly in, and then we're going to take the arms into a genie position. So stack the forearms on top of each other and make sure the arms are lifted up in line with the shoulders, not above them, not below them, right in line with them. And then drop those shoulders down, which means you actively have to pull your shoulder blades down your back. Get tall as you breathe in, just a little bit more. On your exhale, without using your arms for guidance, rotate to the right. Use your core strength. So yes, my arms are moving, but they haven't shifted in the space they were in. They haven't pulled across, right? They stay right at center of chest and then come back through center on the inhale. So from your hips all the way through the crown of your head, right here at center, you're frozen. But then there's some mobility in the waistline when you twist to your left. Feeling it right here. And then come back through center on an inhale. Get taller as you rotate through the heart and through the crown of your head. Eyes stay at the horizon. Legs do not shift at all. Center on the inhale. Exhale. Wring it out like a wet towel. Squeeze all the water out and then fill back up with water as you breathe in. We're going to do 1 more to each side. Back over to the right. Center on an inhale. Exhale to the left and right towards the bottom of the breath. See if you can just wring out a little bit more. Yeah, come back through center on the inhale. And just melt forward over the legs. Exhale, let your feet relax, head relax, arms relax. You shake the head a little bit, yes and no. Good, and then go ahead and slowly roll back up to a seated position. We're going to transition from seated to kneeling. Kneeling towards the back of your workspace. And we want to be nice and stacked and vertical from the knees all the way up through the crown of the head. So knees, hips, shoulders. You want the knees to be hip width apart. Arms are stretched down beside you with palms facing behind you. Shoulders back, heart up, sealed down with the ribs. So we're not arching the back here. Take a breath in. On the exhale, press the arms straight back, then begin to lift them up. But do not let the hands widen to let the arms come up higher. Stay shoulder width distance with hands. Come down on the inhale. Breathe in. So this is a chest opener, tricep, and core strengthener. Exhale, press arms back, then up. Make sure you don't lean forward into this space. Lower the arms down on an inhale. We're doing 4 more of these. 4. Press back, then find the lift. Belly firms. Come down on an inhale. 3 more times. Exhale. Press. Release. Breathe in 2 more times. Use the entire breath out to get that movement through. When we release, it's with control. 1 more time. Press back, lift up, hold here. I'll try to pulse upward, upward, upward for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then take the arms down slowly. Let the shoulders roll out. Let the arms kind of shake and wiggle around. Dead weighted. Rest. Okay. From our kneeling space, we're going to take a big step forward with the right foot coming into a lunged position. Trying to get 90 degrees with both legs. We're still stacked tall on the torso. We haven't arched here at all. So if your tailbone feels like it's shooting to the back of your workspace, take the tailbone and root it down and feel the pubic bone zip up to your navel. Legs are strong here. Feel the energy of both thighs hug to midline, right in the center of your workspace. And then bring your arms to a cactus position. I'm actually going to turn forward so you can see me, also so I can get away from the wall a little bit. Okay, so right leg forward, arms into a cactus position. So you can't really see my hands. I'm going to drop down for just a moment. I don't want you to do this. I don't want the elbows to drop. You want your elbows in line with your shoulders and wrists spread above the elbows. So your fingers should be spread wide here in this space. Take a breath in. On the exhale, rotate again to the right. So again, the arms don't leave that space they were in. They just follow what your torso is doing. Come back through center on the inhale. Now a little element here of the legs, since they're staggered, rotate to the left, but feel the left hip push forward. So that has to fight you a little bit. Come back through center. So our balance is going to be challenged here a bit. Exhale over to the right again. Notice my left arm doesn't start pulling over. It stays as it once was. Center on the inhale, not losing that 90-degree shape with the arms. Rotate to the left. Left hip pushes forward. So if I continue over, my hip pulls back. I don't want that. Come back through center. Ooh, wobbly. Yeah, let's do 1 more each side. Rotate to the right. Hug those legs. Feel the energy pulling inward. Center on the inhale. We're strengthening our upper back, our shoulders, our waistline, our balance. Come back through center. Lift the arms up. Breathe in. Exhale your hands down to frame your front foot. Take that right leg, step it back, come into tabletop. From tabletop, walk hands to knees and roll yourself up to stack, back to kneeling. We're going to do that on the other side. So left foot takes a big step forward. 90 degrees with both legs. This time we're going to lift the arms straight up to the sky. Palms are still forward, fingers are still spread, hands are still shoulder width apart. Now we're going to bring in some elements of the letter W. So before we begin the exercise, I'll show you really briefly. So when we come into W, you want the elbows to bend, you want them to pull down, but also you want the arms to press back, which is going to lift your heart. So this is going to be a heart opener, a back bend, a balance challenger. Okay, we're looking forward when the arms are straight up. Take an inhale. Exhale, create the letter W. Elbows bend, pull the arms down, but also pull them back. Arch your back, lift your heart, and then gaze towards the ceiling. And that's what's going to throw the balance off, is that lift of the eyes. Okay, and now seal the ribs back in, stack up the spine, extend the arms up, look forward. Inhale. Exhale, bend elbows, pull arms down, press back, lift heart, lift gaze. Gaze will be the last thing. Feel this between your shoulder blades here. Then restack, seal in, firm belly, straighten arms, look straight on. We're doing 2 more of these. Exhale, W, arms, pull back, heart lifts, chest opens, gaze upward, seal back in. Inhale, reach up. One more time, arching back, ribs, they lift, they pop forward, upper back engagement. Good. Seal it back down, lift the arms up, look straight ahead. Inhale. Exhale your hands down, frame your front foot. Step back to tabletop. From tabletop, we're going to stay here for a moment, so make sure the fingers are spread. Support your wrists. Your knees are hip width apart. And that you're not collapsed into the arms. We're not just kind of resting here. This is active. Push away from the floor. Lift out of the arms. Pull the lower belly in and up and look slightly forward rather than straight down. Take an inhale and extend. Move this way. Right arm forward, left leg straight back. On your exhale, just the arm and leg only. Open out to their sides. Everything else stays like a statue. Come back in line with your spine, on an inhale. Make sure you're not falling into that left arm. Exhale, extend the leg and arm out to sides. And maybe the leg doesn't get out completely to the side because we are strengthening that outer hip. Come back through center, breathe in. I'm gonna do 2 more here on this side. Exhale, continue to stretch your heart forward. We're working waistline, outer hip here. 1 more time, inhaling. Exhaling out to the sides. Good, come back through center, breathe in. And then exhale, return back to tabletop position. All right, so there's a lot to think about. Yes, we have to think about moving the arm and leg, but we also have to be aware of the other parts of our body that aren't moving, just to make sure that we're staying intact. All right, other side, left arm forward, right leg back, on an inhale. Exhale, extend out to the sides. Notice my chest doesn't follow, right? I don't twist, just my arm and leg move. Come back through center, on an inhale. Again, exhale. Look slightly forward, not straight down. Come back through center, breathe in, stabilize here. 2 more. Check that right arm. Did you fall into it? And can you lift out of it if you had? Good, come back through, breathe in, move very slow. Take the entire exhale to extend out. When we move slow, we can have better control over our body. Come back through center, breathe in, return to tabletop, breathe out. All right, we're gonna stretch for the shoulders here, the backs of them. We did a lot of upper back work here. So take the right arm on an inhale, reach it out and up. Look to the hand, follow it up, and then follow that hand as it threads underneath. Arm loops through, actively reach across the floor, and then come all the way down onto the arm. Palm is still faced up, fingers are still spread, we're still reaching. If everything dead weights, then we don't bring the energy to the stretch. Take 1 more breath in here. Unwind back to tabletop as you breathe out. We'll go to the other side. Left arm sweeps out and up. Look to the sky. Thread through as you breathe out, looking down to your right, coming all the way down onto the arm. Think of your heart trying to roll open to the sky, and that will bring more weight onto the arm, which in turn can increase the sensation to stretch. So let's take 1 more breath in. Let's come back to tabletop as you breathe out. Good, I'm just gonna just check the time here to see what we got working here. Okay, let's go ahead from here and transition onto the stomach so we can do some back body strengthening. So Still working with upper, middle, lower, upper back, but we're adding in middle, lower, and glute strengthening as well. So let's start here on our back, or on our stomach, backside up. And then we'll have the hands underneath the shoulders to begin. Fingers spread here, and arms hugged in tightly. Elbows point straight back, not to sky. If they're out to sky, up to sky, then we have to slide the hands forward. But we don't want the hands too far forward because we don't want the forearms down. We want them elevated. So that sweet spot right in between, the Goldilocks of the hand position. Forehead to the floor. So now our hands are grounded, yes. They will continue to stay grounded, yes. We are not going to use our arm strength to lift up. I'm always over exaggerating so you can see my point. We are only using upper back and core strength to do this next movement, okay? Hands are there just for light support. Take an inhale. On your exhale, as one piece, head and heart peel off the ground. So pause here. Notice I didn't push my chin forward. If I pushed my chin forward, that meant I moved my head separately from my chest. That also compressed my neck. So length out through crown of head. Come back down again on an inhale. Arms stay close by your sides as you exhale. When you're lifting up, feel the shoulder blades squeeze in and slide down towards the tailbone. Lower back down on your breath in. We're just doing 2 more of these. Exhale as the head and heart lift. Imagine your belly trying to pull off the ground. It's not going to, but it will engage the core if you try. Come down on an inhale. One last time. Exhale, head and heart. Again, nothing leads before the other. It's all as one. And then lower back down as you breathe in. From here, let's cross one arm over the other, like genie arms. If this feels like it's too much in your neck shoulder region, you can always slide out further to hand stacking if you like. Okay. And then we'll rest our forehead onto the forearms. So we're going to add more steps to that movement we just did. The arm position, of course, is different. Breathing pattern is going to change. But the principle of not using the arms remains in the beginning factor. So we're never going to push off the ground with my arms to lift me up. I'm using upper back and core to do the work. All right, here we go. So starting with head grounded. Now on our inhale, the head and heart, just like we did earlier, comes up. Now keep that there. Exhale, we're going to try to pull the arms up to meet the hairline. Take just the arms down as you breathe in. Take the head and heart down as you breathe out. Again, inhale, head and chest, find their lift. Feel your hips press into the floor here. Exhale, pull the arms up to hairline. Take just the arms down as you breathe in. Then the head and chest down as you breathe out. Let's do 2 more of these. Inhale for the head and the heart. The arms are grounded, but they are soft. Exhale now, keep the head as it is. Arms pull up to meet it. Take arms down on an inhale. Take the head and heart down. Exhale. One last round. Inhale, head and heart. Lift. Exhale, arms pull up, meeting hairline. Take just the arms down on the inhale. Take the head and heart down on the exhale. And then we'll stay here resting. Make sure your feet now are shoulder width apart, toes pointed back. Hips push into the floor, breathe in. Squeeze your glutes, lift your legs off the ground as you breathe out. Take the legs down on an inhale. Again, exhale, squeeze first, then lift up slowly. Never quick. We want to keep that lower back nice and safe. We're strengthening here and the glutes. Down on an inhale. We're doing 4 more of these. Exhale, lift. Squeeze the breath out to bottom. Feel those hips push to floor. Lower on an inhale. 3 more times. Release. Breathe in 2 more times. Exhale, peeling the legs off the ground. Come down on an inhale. One last time, exhale, lifting the legs up, keeping them there, and then begin to paddle the legs up and down. Feel the glutes working, the core working for stabilization. And continue to paddle the legs, breathe steadily, uncross the arms, extend them out, and lift arms, head, and heart, and begin to paddle the arms, swimming, breathing, keep the chest up, isolate the movement to arms and legs for 3, 2, 1, and then rest again. Cross the arms, release down, lift your feet to the sky, and then windshield wiper your legs. You can crisscross them or just wave them side to side, whichever feels best for you. Maybe you try a little bit of both. Good. And then stretch the legs behind you and hug them together. Uncross arms, hands underneath your shoulders. You're going to press back into a closed-legged child's pose. We're keeping the legs in close so that we can stretch more into our lower back. And then breathe into that space. Big inhale. Big exhale. Once more, breath into your lower back. On your exhale, slowly roll yourself up to a seated kneeling position. All right, from here, we're going to transition into some side leg work. So let's all start lying on our left side to begin. Strengthening a little bit of the outer hips and inner thighs. Core always involved here as well. So lying on your left side, straight line, stacked hips. Right hand onto your hip, elbow to the sky. Flex your feet, bottom leg presses into the ground for support and stability. Top leg hovers with an internal rotation, just so that your toes point forward. If they're angled up, it activates the quad, which is not bad. We just want to really, though, get to this outer hip. The quads get work a lot when we don't even realize, doing anything from like climbing stairs, sitting and standing, right, kind of a squatting movement. The outer hips, though, really need a lot of work to strengthen, so we want to really focus on those. And then look straight ahead, right? We start looking down, that's great to see if we're in line here, but then the neck is out of line, so we want to bring it right in with the spine here. On your exhale, we're going to lift that top leg up a bit higher, push through the heel, keep the toes forward. And then bring to hover again on an inhale. So notice, nothing else in my body has shifted. When I lift the leg, my arm doesn't pull back. I don't tip back. I stay as I am. Hover on an inhale. So that requires strength as well. We're going to do 4 more of these. As the leg is lifting, feel it coming up from hip strength, but also pull that belly in firm. Hover on an inhale. 3 more times. Lift. Good, and hover. Let's do that twice more. Exhale, find your lift. Push through the heel of your foot. Hover on a breath in. On the last one, let's lift the leg. Let's take it down about half, and then point the toes. With control, draw some circles with the leg. The leg should be stiff like a board. The movement stems from your hip joint. And then again, that elbow is still pointing to sky. The shoulder stays steady. More core is needed for 3, 2, 1. Pause, reverse direction. Breath in, breath out. Take your time. Keep the control for 3. Stabilize. 2, 1. Pause. Flex your foot again. Little pulses upward. Emphasize lift, never drop. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take the leg down nice and slowly. Bend the knee front and forward on the floor. Tapping out the hip if you'd like. Just kind of releasing all that good stuff that we just built up. That lactic acid, yeah? That's when you feel the burn. Okay. We're going to transition. We're going to stay on this side, but we're going to take that right foot and step it behind the left leg. Hips are now no longer stacked. And then take that left leg and angle it out in front of you a little bit more so you have space for movement. Hand back to hip, elbow back to the sky. Let's hover that left leg to start. Externally rotate the leg this time rather than internal, right? So feeling that, and then you'll notice the inner corner of your heel pointing to the sky. The more you flex the foot, the more the inner thigh muscle is actually going to work. So if the foot starts to limp off, then we're no longer using a lot of this. We still are a bit, but not fully as if we did when the foot is nicely engaged. So let's take our exhale and lift the leg up slow. We're using inner thigh and lower abdominal strength, pelvic floor strength, inner thigh strength. Hover on an inhale. Lift up on the exhale. Hover, breathe in. We're doing 4 more of these. 4, and again, steadying the rest of your body here. Isolate it to just that left leg. 3 more. Squeeze a breath out down to the bottom. Lower on an inhale. We're doing 2 more of these. Lift. Hover. Once more, let's lift the leg and then hold that leg there. On your inhale now, bend the knee, pull it towards your body. And then exhale, drive the leg away. Keep reaching it upward at a diagonal. Again, pull the knee in, drive back out. 4 more of those. Inhaling in, push it away, exhale. 3 more, in. Press. 2 more times. Draw in, drive out. Once more, in. Good, push it away, hold it high. 3, a little bit higher. 2, a little bit higher. 1, good, slowly take the leg to the floor. And then restack the body. Rest all the way down onto your left arm and reach your right arm to the sky. Spread your fingers and plug that shoulder into socket. Hug your legs together firm. Breathe in. Lift the head and legs up on the exhale by cinching in your side body, your right side. And then come down on the inhale. Make sure that bottom arm stays relaxed. We're not using it. Exhale. Also, when you come up with head and legs, that right arm doesn't pull down at all. Keep it lifted vertical, hand to sky. Lower on an inhale. We're doing 4 more of these. Exhale, feel the body cinch, then find the lift. Come down on the inhale. So it's a small lift, nothing huge, but impactful on our body. Come down on an inhale 2 more times. Exhale, check back in with that right arm. Did it shift? Did it leave the shoulder alignment? Come down on an inhale. Last one here. Let's lift the head. Let's lift the legs. And now let's point the toes if they're not pointed already. And then very slowly, we're going to scissor the legs. These are bigger movements. What we're trying to achieve is to make sure that this lifted arm does not move at all. So it requires a lot of control, a lot of breathing, being very mindful and present. 3, find your range of motion here. 2, 1, take the legs together and let everything come down. So I don't know if you notice at all, when we're doing those scissors, when the top leg pulls forward, it's much more challenging on our body to stay balanced than when it pulls behind us. I probably should know the reason why. I'm going to be honest, I don't. But when the leg pulls forward, you're really going to feel that whole side body here working hard to prevent everything else from moving. All right, let's go ahead, press up and switch to the other side. I'm checking time again, just to see what we have going. Perfecto. Okay, let's go ahead and sweep around. We're lying now onto our right side, left hand onto our hip, elbow points to sky, feet are flexed, bottom leg presses down, top leg hovers, internally rotate the leg, look forward, breathe in. On your exhale, lift that top leg up a bit higher and continue to find that slight roll in of the leg. You don't want the toes pointing down, that's too much, just forward is fine. Hover on an inhale. Again, exhale, lifting the leg, pushing through the heel of your foot. And then hover on an inhale. We're going to do 4 more of these. 4. Hover, breathe in. 3 more times, lift. And hover. 2 more times, lift. And hover. 1 more time, find the lift of the leg. Take it only down to the halfway point and point the toes. Lock it up, stem from the hip joint. Let's draw circles. Control, control, control. Our shoulders love to move along with the legs, so we have to work with our abdominal strength to prevent that. 3, 2, use that bottom leg here as well. 1, pause, feel it press down and reverse the direction of that top leg movement. Inhale, exhale for a 5, 4, 3, keep steady. 2, keep control. 1, good, and pause. Flex your foot again. Pulse the leg upward. Lifting, lifting, lifting. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Slowly take the leg back down. Whew. Bend the knee to the floor in front of you, tapping out the hip. Wow, it doesn't take a lot of exercise, right? A lot of work and movement to get that hip really working hard. Okay. Okay, we are going to then move to the bottom leg. So left foot behind the right leg angling out a little bit. Oops, right on my phone, of course. Hand back to hip, elbow back to sky. Hovered leg, flexed foot, and then an external rotation of lower ab, pelvic floor strengthening, inner thigh. Exhale, the leg lifts up. Hover as you breathe in. Again, exhale, find your lift. And then find the hover. Let's do 4 more of these. 4. And then hover. 3 more. Good. 2 more times. Lift. Hover. On the last one, the leg is lifting and we're keeping it there. Breathe in, bend the knee, pull it towards the body. Exhale, press it away. Again, in, press out. 4 more. Inhaling, drive it out. Exhaling. 3 more. In, slow, out with power. 2 more times. In, drive. 1 more time. Pull leg in, press leg out, hold, and stay here for 3. A little bit higher with the leg. 2, a little bit higher. 1, a little bit more. Good. Slowly take the leg all the way back down. Restack the body again. Rest on the right arm. Lift the left arm right above shoulders. Spread fingers, palms forward. Hug legs tightly together. Breathe in. Exhale, head and legs find their lift. Cinch in the left side body. Come down on your inhale. You may notice one side a little bit different than the other. Exhale, find your lift. Maybe one side's easier or more challenging. Come down on your inhale. Continue to make sure that hand stays right above the shoulder. 4 more times. 4. Come down, breathe in. 3 more, lift. And bring it back down. 2 more times. Exhale, lift. Hug those legs tight, tight, tight together. Good. Come down on an inhale. 1 more time. Head and legs find their lift. Keep the lift. Point the toes. Scissors. Big range of motion. Again, keep that lifted arm steady, still, and make sure, right, when that top leg pulls forward, that you really feel it in the side body and you maintain control. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the legs together and let everything come down. Rest. Okay, let's press up to seated from here. Let's get a little stretch into inner thighs, hips, and side body, everything that we just kind of worked. So let's start with the right leg out in front, bent at 90, left leg bent behind at 90 degrees. And then let's take our hands and frame the either side of that right leg and turn our torso to square up to it. The fingers push off the ground with fingertips to get taller in the spine, and then start to walk the hands forward, keeping your flat back the whole time so we don't start to round. I want to keep the length, heart forward, and flex the right foot.
Feel the sits bones try to root down and back behind you. Stretching out the hip. Good. Start to walk the hands slowly back in. And then untwist the torso so you're squared up to the front of your workspace. Lift your right arm up high. Breathe in. And then stretch up and over to your left side. Here's that side body stretch. Everything from the hip all the way traveling up and out through fingertips. So make sure the arm is in line with your ear. Make sure that both sits bones are equally anchored towards the floor. And feel the ribs pushing over to the right side. Breathe into that space. Big inhale. Ooh, big exhale. Let's do that one more time. Breath in. Now use your core strength. Exhale, firm belly, slowly stack back up. Let that arm float down. Switch to the other side. Left leg comes around to the front, right leg behind. Tented fingers, frame the front leg. Rotate to square up to it, and then start to walk the hands forward. Even though the hands are out in front first, always remember the heart, imagining that we're out front first, because as soon as we start forgetting about the chest, everything gets pulled back, right? We want everything to stretch forward. Flex the foot. Feel your sits bones push back. Good. Start to walk the hands back in nice and slow. Stack back up. Unravel, turn around to the front. Lift your left arm up. And stretch up and over to your right side. Ribs are going to push to the left a bit. Both sits bones are anchored. Arms in line with ear, or maybe even slightly pulling behind, which will start to twist you open a bit to the sky. That's an option, not a requirement. But if your arm is out in front, it releases the stretch along your lat here. So pulling back gets right into that side here. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more time. Big breath in. Firm the belly. Exhale, stack up tall. Let the arm float down. And then one last stretch here. Let's take the legs out to a straddled position. Flex your feet. Hands in front. Get taller as you breathe in. And start to walk the hands forward here. Maybe it's only one step, and that's fine. But again, we're hinging forward at the hips. The back is still flat. Your heart essentially leads the movement, even if the hands are further forward. Gets the groin and inner thighs. Good, wonderful. Start to walk the hands back in. Sit up nice and tall. And let's take the legs and cross them. Ground in with sits bones. Heart high, shoulders back, belly in, arms down, palms up. Inhale, reach arms out wide up high to the sky. Connect the hands above your head. And then exhale, pull your hands down through midline, heart space. Again, breathe in, sweep the arms up and gather the energy in between the arms. Hold the energy above you and then pull the energy within you. Let's do that one more time. Breathe in, reach to the sky and let your eyes follow your hands upward. Watch them as they connect. Watch them as they pull through to your heart. And then in this space, bow your chin down into your chest. And then thank yourself at the end of practice here that you came here, showed up, did the work, and that you connected to yourself, most importantly, right? Finding our bodies and how they work and what they need is very important for a lifelong mobility and movement and freedom. So thank you guys very much for joining in. Enjoy your weekend. I will see you next week. Cheers. Okay, stopping the recording and then I will send it out. Enjoy, guys.